Put it down.
Fighting?
Chef, do you like doing minis on both breads or just one bread?
On both these
Ladies. Ladies.
She's being silly.
What about you, Honey Bun?
What?
You like your minis on both sides or one side? I don't remember.
One side's alright.
Oh wow, oh wow, what's in there, Mercedes? Anything in there?
Jack.
Yes.
He's rubbing up.
Oh, Papa.
Hi.
Hi.
Ladies.
Dark. Dark. I can't see anything.
Mercedes. Icy good?
What?
Is your icy good?
I made it into an eye. Look,
Yeah.
it's that wet.
Yeah. Aren't the koala bears cute? He's eating. Yeah. Hi. He's waking up, I think. Yeah, he's just yelling. Here's one sound asleep. Hello.
there. He's floating up on the top. See him up there?
Daddy, what?
Yeah, because he was back underneath.
Here he comes. He's on my side, Granny.
Right, here he is. Quick, Mildred. Here he is up on the top.
Oh, for goodness sake. Look at that. Isn't
Go around big. Yes? It's coming, Granny.
Oh, yes. Look at
There
that.
he is.
There it is, Lorna. Oh.
Oh, he's back again on the floor.
It's a wombat.
It's the wombat. It's a common wombat. There's another variety which is called a hairy-nosed wombat. This one's a common one. Does anyone know where they live? Where they live? Where they live? Do they live above ground or below ground?
In burrows.
Yeah, that's right. They live in a burrow. And if you look at her feet, you can see that there's really good digging claws. She digs with the front ones and pushes her tail. Yeah, she's
Little
got a
tail.
tiny little tail down here. Now, why do you think it's so small? Well, if he lives in a burrow, okay, or in this case, this is a female, so if she lives in a burrow and she had a great big long tail, wouldn't it get in the road? And she comes out of her burrow backwards, so that if there happened to be a predator, say a dingo was outside, and she had a nice long tail, they could grab hold of the tail as well. The other thing she's got, if I can turn her over, is here, there's a really hard bony plate on there, and there's another one on her head, and that's to protect her too when she comes out, so that a dingo can't grab hold of her. Okay? She's a marsupial. Does anyone know what a marsupial got? What's a female marsupial got? What's a kangaroo got? That's right, yes. A marsupial's got a pouch, and Chloe's got one, and it's down there. You can just see it, just there. See the pouch? Okay. Now that pouch is backward facing. A kangaroo's is frontward so that it opens that way. This one's opens the other way. Do you know why? Well, think, she's in a burrow and she's digging and she's got a frontward opening pouch. Poor old baby would get a whole pouch full of dirt, wouldn't it? So it's backward facing. It's the other way around. How big is a baby wombat when it's born?
Yeah, big. Tiny. Big. Very tiny.
Very, very small. It's about the size and about the colour of a pink jelly bean. Okay? And it crawls up and it crawls into a pouch and it attaches itself to a teeth. And it stays there for a while. We've got some diagrams up there showing you the development and how it looks from the back end when the wombat, the baby's in the pouch.
Same as the koala, is it?
Yeah. Well, if you look at this animal and you look at a koala, do they look alike? Yeah. Well, they say they're first cousins. They've done some tests and they believe they're first cousins. And the koala has a backward-facing pouch as well. Okay? Now, she's gnawing on a carrot here. To stop her from gnawing on me, actually. But in the wild, what do you think they'd eat?
Carrot.
Well, what are carrots? Carrots are roots, aren't they? And they'd eat all sorts of roots and they eat bark and herbs and things like that. Okay? Now, if you want to, you can come up and feel her. Turn her over. Don't get near her head because she's got rootless teeth like a rodent's and they're continuously growing and she does give a nice nip. So if you want to... This one's about 2. She's nearly fully grown for 5. Okay? I just feel... Sorry? Yeah. Now, people won't really know this side. Okay? If you feel the fur and then go back and sit down, okay?
Not paying much attention. So you might be wondering how communicating with the two seal.
Both Barney and Ben are responding to a number of my body movements, or what we call cues. Now, throughout the course of the show, they'll each respond to my right knee. So if you watch carefully, and if they're paying attention, you'll see it doesn't take much of a movement for the two seals to respond. There. That's good. No, Barney, don't worry about it. Okay, so neither of them are paying a lot of attention. That took no effort at all for the two seals because their shoulders are so strong. Now, although this might look very strange to you, it's actually a very comfortable position to hold. It's actually a resting position. The fur seals can sit like that for hours at a time. Now, the reason why it is so comfortable is because the way Ben's head is now, it takes the weight off his shoulders. But there's also another advantage. It lets Ben know what's going on behind him. And that can be a big advantage when Barney's coming up behind him and he's in a bad mood. It's a good defensive posture. That's good, Ben. Now, fur seals all have 2 layers of fur, and to groom and maintain those 2 layers of fur, they have 3 claws on each back flipper. Now, those claws look a lot like those of a dog, so they use them in a similar way. Ben, show everybody your claws. That's good. Now, the light brown fur you can see around Ben's neck is his second layer of fur, and that's so thick that when he goes into the water, the cold water doesn't reach his skin at all. So they're very well insulated against cold. But they're also extremely good at climbing, as Ben's about to show you. That's good, Ben. Very agile on land, aren't you? Yeah. You can stay there and have a rest. Now, one of the questions that a lot of people ask us at the zoo is how long can a fur seal stay out of the water for? Well, they can actually stay out for weeks at a time, and during the breeding season, that's exactly what the adult males do. They'll stay dry on land for sometimes up to 6 weeks while they maintain their breeding territory. Now, they usually don't eat anything at all for that period of time, but the one thing that does drive them back to the means it's very easy for them to overheat on a hot day. So we'll get Barney to show you how he'd cool down in the water. You can do it, Barn. There he is. Now, what Barney's showing you now is known as sailing, and it's the way that a fur seal cools down in the water. Now, the breeze created over that extended flipper cools the blood down in the flipper, and that then cools the seal down. And they do have a very fine control over their blood supply. If Barney wanted to cool down a lot faster, he'd simply increase his circulation and pump more blood to that extended flipper, or instead of that, he might swim a bit quicker through the water, create more of a breeze over that flipper. That's the way Barn. But on a very hot day, one flipper might not be enough, and Barney might find it necessary to extend 2 flippers, just like that, and pump more blood individually to each of those flippers. That'll help him cool down a lot faster. Now, before Barney comes out of the water, Ben's going to show you another use for their flippers. Although they don't have any claws on their front flippers, they can still use them to maintain their fur. Now, not by scratching, as Benjamin showed you before, but by rubbing or massaging their fur. Ben, can you have a rub? Ben? He's frozen again. Ben, you've got to wake up. That's much better. Very good. That's the way, Ben. You're a good boy. You're good too, Barn. Now, you've all seen Ben up the ladder, and I'm sure you'd all like to see Barney go up that big ladder, so we'll get him up now. Come on, Barn. You can do it. So when Barney gets to the top, if you take a close look at him, he might remind you of another animal. Now, fur seals are very closely related to bears and dogs, and they have a lot of bear-like features, especially in their face and their tail. Now, if you're lucky, Barney might show you his short, chubby tail. There he goes.